Welcome to the Ellis Highlight Reel Podcast, Episode 3. This is your host, Brandon Ellis, speaking. Um, first topic today is going to be the Last Dance recap, Episodes 5 and 6. Second topic's NFL schedule, how it relates to every team. And then the third topic of today is Jadeveon Clowney rumors, and more COVID impacts along the way since last week. It's the final topic. So let's get into the Last Dance. Last Dance started last week with the tribute to Kobe Bryant at the 98 All-Star Game. It was eerie sight seeing Kobe. Really eerie sight seeing Kobe Bryant. Saying, what he said. He made a great point too. You wouldn't have Kobe Bryant and what he did without having Michael Jordan in the picture. So teaching him everything. It just showed their relationship and the impact as well of Michael on Kobe's career, and you can see it. Everything Kobe did reminds you of Michael. So when you look at that, and it was a nice job, by the team that made the doc. This is great. It's great to see Kobe once again. That episode also got into more the Dream Team, speculation with Isaiah, about the reason why Isaiah Thomas didn't make the Dream Team. I don't buy the fact that Michael was the one that was like, yeah, shut it down, like don't put Isaiah on the team, when other members of the team had the same beef with Isaiah and Michael did. Like Larry Bird had the similar beef, and Magic had his issues with Isaiah. Michael, obviously. Scotty, obviously. So it's just interesting to hear their perspectives on that storyline, too. And it also got into the Tony Kukoc stuff, too, when the Dream Team played Croatia in 92, and how Kukoc struggled the first game because of the Jerry Krause. Jerry Krause wanted to replace Scotty with Kukoc initially, and then so Scotty and Michael were like to the team, leave Kukoc to us, and he struggled. And then he bounced back in the gold medal game for scoring 16. Showed the resolve that Kukoc had to come out and perform. Episode 6 got to the brand of Jordan, and it got into his branding, his gambling. It got to a lot of great stuff, about that, and it detailed that really well. And I feel like episode 6, put in light what Jordan meant to the community at the time, and also the impact of the gambling, how it changed his perspective on everyone a little bit. Didn't really change that much, but it changed a little bit to some people. So it's great to see that as well. The impressive thing about this is how open Michael is so far. And knowing Michael wasn't the best with media, especially during that time and everything like that. And, it's great to hear him, open up about these topics now in a docuseries like this. It makes it more impactful, I feel like. So there's that. And also when you look at the details of, episode 5 of Kobe and everything like that, made it, like he said, Kobe was going to make it a one-on-one game, and Jordan intended to do that. And it just, makes that story alone, it's just one of those things about Kobe that's you didn't, like, a lot of people didn't know about, and it's great to hear that from the man himself. So rest in peace, Kobe. And moving on to NFL, the schedule release is officially 8 p.m. Thursday night, tomorrow night. Some teams will release their schedules early, so they can release it, through their press releases and everything like that earlier. The Eagles will be one of those teams releasing it 30 minutes early at 7:30 tomorrow night. The teams they'll play, obviously the division opponents twice, and then they'll play the AFC North, which is the Steelers, Ravens, Browns, and Bengals, and then they'll play the NFC West. So Niners, Cardinals, Seahawks, and Los Angeles Rams, and then they'll play the first place teams in the NFC, which are Packers and Saints, to make up the rest of the schedule. Now, with the added game this year, it might be one of the AFC teams as well in that schedule, like a random non-conference AFC, or random AFC not in the division they're playing. So it's interesting to see what the 17-game schedule is going to look like this year. So it's going to be interesting. No international games either this year, which is big. So they're losing the London games, the Mexico City game. Apparently the Eagles were supposed to go to Mexico City if COVID didn't happen, but obviously with COVID, they don't want the issues with travel and everything like that. So it's good to hear that the NFL is releasing the schedule on time, and hopefully it goes as planned. But the speculations with the COVID coming back and everything like that, it's unpredictable right now what we're gonna have. So we'll see. There was a survey that ESPN did the other day that said sports fans would rather have sports without the fans in attendance than not having sports at all. So hopefully we can get the sports back somehow, some way, without and we don't have to be there in person as long as it's broadcast. Give us something to watch. So going on to the impact of the COVID-19. Last week after the podcast, they canceled the Little League World Series. So that'll be the first time since the tournament's inception that has ever happened. I feel bad for the youngsters. A lot of great memories have been made at Williamsport. Monet Davis, that great story there. Jake Fromm got his start there. Todd Frazier, a lot of professional athletes have gotten their start in Williamsport. So it's going to be interesting to see. It sucks for the little kid, the youngsters that, and hopefully next year, they'll make an exception maybe for the kids that got older, that or the tail end of the eligibility rules, and let them play 1 year. I doubt it happens, but I'm hoping, because maybe this was whether they're one shot at getting into Williamsport for the first time, and they, COVID took it away. So we'll see. Another thing that happened in the news with COVID, I'm trying to think what else happened with COVID other than the NFL releasing its schedule. That was big. NBA, I talked about that last week. Some of the teams and everything like that. Speculation about that. About it coming back. Oh, the draft got pushed back. The draft and the combine not the draft. The combine and the lottery, the draft lottery got pushed back last week. That got postponed. That was the thing I was thinking of. I knew there was something else that had bigger happened last week after the podcast. So anyway, the NBA draft lottery and the combine got pushed back, which means probably the draft will get pushed back too. So Adam Silver being on top of the situation decided to push everything back. They're eyeing a June, early July return possibly for the NBA. So that would be good. Hopefully we can get playoffs going and get a champion. And then the NBA and NHL probably start their new seasons for the 2021 season in December. They have been approved to do so. Start then and it'll end in August. At least for the NBA, it will end in August. So that's a good thing. If they start in December, maybe that'll be better for those sports. So, and then going on to the Jadeveon Clowney issue, that he still hasn't been signed yet. Obviously, he wants too much money for the lack of production he's had. He only had 3 sacks last year up in Seattle, and the Eagles are among like several teams interested in signing Clowney. Um, Clowney's a great talent. I'm not saying he's not, but when he comes out and says that Philly has the worst sports fans, that's a bad sign right there. And he also injured your star franchise quarterback in the game that ended our season. So I don't know if how like I get what Howie is going for. If you can get depth at the edge position, good move. But I mean, Clowney's a great player, but he's I don't know if his production's worth the attitude to come into Philly. So and everything like that as well. Looking at some of the other details of it too. When you think about it, like Clowney's been one of those number one draft picks that number one overall picks that's underperformed in some aspects. He performed better with J.J. Watt, and it showed last year when he was by himself. And he got a good amount of pressures, but you got to finish those sometimes. And he did have a good playoff game against Philly, but that was just mostly because McCown didn't have the mobility after tearing his hamstring late in that game as well. So another thing that's come out too, Jalen Reagor will officially wear 18. That's great for him as well. Marquise Goodwin, wants to wear. He's wearing 13. I don't know about that one. I mean, that's the thing. 13's available. Go with 13. Just hoping it doesn't. There's no curse on number 13 because that's the number that Aguilar had here there in Philly. So we'll see about that as well. The KOB, which is a Japanese baseball league, opened up yesterday. Started play, so that's a good sign that baseball could come back, and and they had a great reception about it. Me here was talking about it a little bit. So that's good. That's some great stuff. Other than speculation on when baseball's coming back is going to be one of those things as well that's going to be important down the road and everything like that. The Cowboys signed Andy Dalton as well. So for their backup positions, that pushed pressure on Dak to sign the franchise tag quickly as possible. Actually, breaking news too. Two breaking news topics. First one is the NFL bumps up the schedule release, so they're going to bump it up from Thursday, so they might release it. They're originally planned, so they might release it middle of the day tomorrow. And then Ramona Shelburne from ESPN just reported that there's an NBA all-player call set for Friday. So all the players will talk with the league about the facilities reopening. So that's a great, the league, the NBA is being the most proactive league about COVID, or one of the most proactive leagues about COVID, which is a good thing. So that's going to be interesting as well to look at that. And Carson Wentz, speaking of Philadelphia Eagles, going back to the Eagles topics real quick, and Carson Wentz had his first media interview session since the pick of Jalen Hurts, and I'm going to go into this a little bit real quick. Wentz, talked about the impact of what it's going to do, and he welcomed Jalen to the team. He's open to it. He said he figured they were going to draft him, draft the quarterback, and whatever it takes to win. Carson don't care, and that's the right approach to take. Even though most people are like, you should feel blindsided by this move if you're Carson, and I would agree. But that's the thing. If you want to win, you want to be a good teammate. Just teach Jalen. Don't have to be a bad sport about it. don't be a Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, situation. Just, take it by stride. Each day you're still the guy in Philly. They draft the receivers around you. Hopefully this season's not going to have any more drama. Knowing Philly and knowing the national media around Philly, like every time they talk about Philly, there's going to be some drama about it. The teams gotta persevere through it, like they always do, and they have the team that probably could make a run at the title this year at the Super Bowl, but it's gonna be interesting to see what the schedule looks like, and see, until we know what the schedule looks like, we don't know for sure, and we don't know like how it's gonna work out with COVID and when the team can come back in the facilities and everything like that. Even though we saw Brandon Brooks working at the NovaCare today, as well, but he might have just went there by himself, So it's gonna be interesting to see what the impact of that is as well. The quarterback developments and everything like that. And then he also brought up the concussion that he suffered in January, and you only have one brain and you need to protect it. Is that a red flag? No. I wouldn't be concerned. I mean, I would, for his health and his family, yes, be concerned about concussion, obviously. But as a fan looking into it, no, that's no red flag about his state of mind, his, everything like that, like him like retiring or anything like that, like Andrew Luck. If anything causes him to retire, it's probably the lower body stuff first. That's just my feeling on it. But hopefully the drama with the left tackle gets it solved too. If they bring back Peters, great. If they don't, hopefully Dillard's the guy that can step up and just fill the role, because there's been speculation that he's not ready yet, which I don't know why he wouldn't be ready yet. He played a couple games at left tackle last year. Probably, if I were to speculate on it, is probably when he had to shift to right tackle and he didn't like the shift, and he was negative about it in the media. So maybe that's the case. Anything else that I want to get off my chest real quick before I end this podcast today? I'm just hoping that everyone's staying safe and healthy out there that's watching me. I know right now I sound nasally maybe a little bit. It's just seasonal allergies that I normally get around this time of year. So I always get allergies around this time of year, so don't worry about me right now. I'm just trying to stay healthy myself and everything like that as well. And then also the impact of everything with COVID and sports is an interesting way to look at things right now, and how the crisis management teams of each league is taking it step by step as well. And it's just one of those things, when we think about a lot of the stuff that's happened over the last couple of days, like Don Shula dying and signings in the NFL. We're getting, and the schedule coming back out tomorrow, and all this fun stuff. We got to put our lives in perspective about the impact of the virus and how it, how it can affect families and everything like that too. So, with that being said, the final thing I want to just leave y'all with today is the Jordan Love stuff too. Is going to be an interesting concept as well. Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers dynamic. Is Aaron going to be Brett like Brett was to him, or is Aaron Rodgers going to be the mentor? That's a lot of things that people are talking about after the draft. Also the Hurts Wentz dynamic too. People have been talking about that. The Vegas odds and power rankings still have Dallas somehow above Philly. I guess they love Dallas so much in Vegas, and the power rankings, everything. Like, they always infatuated with Dallas, but every year we all know how it goes. Dallas gets all the national media attention, and then they crumble in December and January. They don't perform, and I don't expect this year to be any different. Especially with Mike McCarthy up in there, new coach. And you have COVID-19, so you can't really be in there right now, and it's crazy. So I expect Philly to have the advantage against the division, just because of the same coach, same offense, everything like that. And but that's just me rambling on about my passion and everything like that too. But my last message to y'all is, obviously stay safe, stay healthy, in the grand scheme of things. And see you next week, obviously, hopefully. I don't sound as nasally. Sorry I sound nasally today, but, that's what life is sometimes. And hopefully next week we can, have a little bit longer episode. I normally like to have 30-minute episodes, but it wasn't that much that happened other than, the docu-series and a couple of things that I talked about. But hopefully we have more developments on the NBA officially and everything like that. And other things too, like MLB and everything like that. And I can, get into a little bit more. See how the KBO is doing, look into that a little bit. I can also, like I said last week, leave some comments. Comment on Facebook, comment on YouTube about it, about the potential things that we can do during this time, like my rankings, top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now. I might have to do that next week. Top 5 quarterbacks in the league, top 5 like players in the NBA right now, like stuff like that. Look at other things too, like all time, records and stats. Just feed me some ideas, and I'll think about some more ideas and everything like that. I just want to have a shorter podcast this week, just because to streamline it a little bit. So with that being said, I will see y'all next week. Thank y'all for watching. Leave a like, comment down below. Like I said, ideas, thoughts on the topics I talked about, potential ideas for podcast ideas as well. And I'll see y'all next week. Peace out.